What's up, guys? Madhead here. Today in this video we're doing week 15 of the NFL predictions. The playoffs are looming, guys. First, we're gonna go over the review for week 14. Saints Falcons. The game was rigged. Alright, the game was just rigged. Saints really should have won that one. I can't believe they only won. The Falcons only won by 3 points. That's crazy to me. Matt Ryan threw 3 interceptions, horrible passes. I mean, he was playing terrible against the Saints defense. But, you know, the BS penalties on the Saints, the clear targeting, there were 11 total injuries in that game against the Falcons. And, I mean, Deion Jones hit Kamara really hard. I mean, I thought that was a little illegal. That was helmet-to-helmet contact right there. Not seeing how that really just went by the ref's head. Not to really throw a pun, but okay, I'm moving on. Saints was rigged. That was rigged. Saints are going to kill the Falcons in the Dome in 2 weeks. Or, I think it's next week now. Back then, it was 2 weeks. Lions, Buccaneers lost hope. I mean, the Lions, who were inconsistent, won the game. And, I mean, that's really just not going to help you. I'm not going to pick the Buccaneers again, I don't think. They don't have it. This year is just not their year. I don't know what's wrong. It's basically injuries. But other than that, I feel like something else is really just wrong with the team. I mean, they looked like they got better over the offseason, but now that it was played out, they're not playing as well as people thought they were. Cowboys, Giants, I expected it. I mean, the Giants are just a bad team. They just need to start off fresh next season. And I think they could make the playoffs next year, just if injuries don't haunt them. 49ers, Texans, I don't know how Tom Savage kind of avoided the concussion protocol. Kind of tried sneaking back in the game. That's kind of stupid. I think the NFL really just needs to get their stuff together with the concussion protocol. But yet again, the 49ers get another win. And now they're not getting the second pick. It looks like they might get the third pick because the Giants are 2-11 and the 49ers are 3-10 now. So, I mean, they're not really tanking, it seems. Garoppolo's 2-0 in his career starts with the 49ers. So that's a very good sign. 49ers scored 26 points. That's very good. I'm glad the offense is feeling more alive. Texans are just a bad team. I thought they would get it done at home. Obviously, they didn't. Raiders, Chiefs. The Raiders are just a bad team, and you've really found that out Sunday. They couldn't beat the Chiefs, who were really falling off. Chiefs finally got themselves a win. The offense is back to where it needs to be, thankfully. Kareem Hunt finally reemerged, 100 yards and a touchdown. Alex Smith played, I'd say he didn't play that well, but he just played considerably well to get the win. Vikings, Panthers. This game was very close. It was very competitive. But in the end, the Vikings just did not have an answer for Cam Newton. Newton in the run game really just tore apart this Vikings defense. And I just couldn't believe Newton got it done with no Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen, he might have re-aggravated that foot. That's not good for you Carolina fans. But, I mean, Newton's really been living without it this season, and he's been doing a considerably well job with it. Next week, the Panthers, or this week, rather, the Panthers are facing the Packers, and that's going to be a nice game. We'll just have to see what happens there. But for the meantime, the Panthers won. Really wanted the Panthers to lose because now they are basically tied with the Saints for the division. Right now, Saints really need to pull away with the wins in the division so that we can clinch a playoff spot. Packers, Browns. The Browns, they were up 21-7 at one point, and then they blew it all away because they're Cleveland. Josh Gordon got his first touchdown since 2012 or 13. That's good for him. Gordon's looking nice coming out of the suspensions. But the game winner, again in overtime from Devontae Adams. It was a short pass, but Devontae Adams just made a play, being a playmaker, and he got that touchdown, won the game for the Packers. It was a good moment for Green Bay fans, and maybe they can get Aaron Rodgers back, and that would be amazing for the Packers. They could probably sneak in the playoffs if that happens. Bears, Bengals, the Bears just went off last week against the Bengals. That was crazy. The Bengals had no shot. I really didn't pay much attention to this game, but I think it was something having to do with Jordan Howard rushing for 100 yards. He basically owned the Bengals, apparently. I don't know. I really just didn't care about the game, but all I know is that the Bears dominated the Bengals. Colts-Bills, it was really a snow game, and if you really watched this game, I really feel bad for you. Even if you were there, I really feel bad for you, because it really wasn't a lot of throwing. It was a bunch of pounding the rock. And of course, the better running back between LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore at this day and age is LaShawn McCoy. I know Frank Gore, he's very underrated in the NFL, but the Bills defense held up against the Colts, which is a good thing. The Bills with their third string quarterback now, what's his name? Turnover Nathan Peterman, he got hurt. So did Kelvin Benjamin. This team has a lot of injuries right now, on the offensive side, at least. And, yeah, really, the Bills, they won in a snow game. Redskins, Chargers, I didn't pay much attention. All I saw was Redskins are eliminated from the playoffs now, and the Chargers had a great time on offense. Phillip Rivers went off again. Jets, Broncos, Josh McCown got hurt, broke his hand. He's out for the season. But seriously, Denver just dominated the Jets. Don't know really what happened here, as I was not watching these games. These games did not seem important to me. Even the more important ones I didn't get to finish watching because I went to the Pelicans 76ers game. Great, we won. Great, by the way. But the Jets got dominated by the Broncos, so that happened. McCown's out, so they had to put in Bryce Petty, and he wasn't really effective. Titans, Cardinals. I really don't know what happened, except that Mariota is just being Mariota this season, throwing some interceptions, throwing a lot of interceptions, and the Cardinals at home won the game. Very surprising. I went 6-10 this week. I don't know if I told you this. We went 6-10 on the predictions, and that's very low. Seahawks, Jaguars. This was a very, very good game. From what I've heard, Jaguars did come out with the win, and I saw something about Michael Bennett saying that they would have beat the Jaguars by 50 back earlier in the year in like February, and there's karma coming back as the Jaguars beat the Seahawks by 6. Eagles, Rams, big story out of this. Carson Wentz out for the season with a torn ACL. That is terrible for Eagles fans. They still came out with the win, which was very, very clutch from the defense, making a man fumble and getting into the end zone for the touchdown. Now, going from here, I don't know really what will happen, except that the Eagles are probably not going to the Super Bowl anymore. So that opens up a few potential teams Saints to get to the Super Bowl. Ravens, Steelers. This was a very competitive game. Really shouldn't have been as competitive as it was, but the Steelers came out on top. Good job, Pittsburgh. And for the shocker of the year, the Patriots lost to the Dolphins. Oh my gosh, just Tom Brady choked. He choked hard. Beginning of the first half, I believe, Brady had 2 interceptions, I know that, but I don't know if he had thrown a touchdown in the first half. It was just terrible. Jay Cutler had like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cutler outplayed Brady. Very surprising, but I mean, I think it's just a fluke. Now, to your Week 15 predictions. Hoodie head activated. Guys, here we are, Week 15 predictions. Starting right now, we got the Broncos and the Colts for Thursday Night Football. In this game, ESPN has the Colts as 2-point underdogs, 2.5 underdogs in this game. I select the Colts to lose because the Colts are terrible. Broncos get the win. They looked impressive last week against the Jets. And now that the Jets are talentless, I believe the Colts are pretty much as talentless, maybe a little better, but still the Broncos I expect to come out on top. Saturday football, we have the Bears and the Lions. The Lions are 5.5 favorites on ESPN to win, and I'm going with the Lions. The Bears, I know they looked impressive last week, but the Lions are just a better team than the Bengals. The Bengals were just not very good last year, or this year, and I just think the Lions are the better team in this game. I think Matthew Stafford, he can have a bounce back game. I know last week it was a decent game, but I think this is going to be a close game, but the Lions will come out on top with the win. Chargers versus Chiefs in the primetime Saturday football game. Chargers are 1-point favorite. I'm picking the Chargers to win. I think the Chargers are a better team than the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I know their offense has been so well over the past 2 weeks, but this week they're going against a very good Chargers defense. I mean, Joey Bosa, he's a very good young player as a pass rusher. Just that defense is scary. And you're going to put that up against Alex Smith, a good veteran. But, I mean, the point is their defense is terrible, and Phillip Rivers is still in his prime. I know he's old, but he still is very good. So Phillip Rivers, I think he'll lead the Chargers to victory in possibly a shootout. Now, for the Sunday football games, the Jets versus the Saints. Saints are a 15-point favorite. No way I'm going against the Saints. They're a better team. Kamara's coming back to the game. So happy that this is happening. We're definitely going to win. Eagles, Giants. Now, this is where I got to scroll down on the ESPNs. Where are you? Eagles, Giants. Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite. Eagles are still going to win in my mind. Even without Carson Wentz, they can beat a talentless Giants team. The Giants just have been a chaotic team to be on. And next year's the year. But for now, the Eagles, with Nick Foles, are leading the Eagles to the victory this week. Cardinals, Redskins. Redskins are a 4-point favorite, and I think Redskins are going to win. They're at home, FedEx Field. Home is really good for Redskins. Cardinals, they have Blaine Gabbert. You can't really trust them on a week-to-week basis. They don't have a lot of upside besides Larry Fitzgerald. I don't even know about Adrian Peterson. Peterson's been on and off since he got traded to the Cardinals. Their defense is fine, but Kirk Cousins, he's going to prove why he deserves money next year, whether that be on the Redskins or maybe on a different team. Bengals, Vikings, this game is probably, 10.5 favorite. Minnesota Vikings are winning. Bengals, they just proved how bad they are last week when they lost to the Bears. So I don't expect really anything going on for the Bengals this week, except losing to the Vikings, of course. Dolphins, Bills, there's really no favorite in this game. As I look on ESPN, there's no favorite. Therefore, I think the Bills have this one. Tyrod Taylor's likely starting, and Tyrod Taylor's been their man. Their defense is underrated. Offense, they can get better. I think they can beat the Dolphins, who Brady was 7-9 against in Miami. So that might have been a fluke win for the Dolphins. We'll see this week when they face the Bills as they try to get and sneak into the playoffs. Packers, Panthers. Now, this is really just me being a Saints fan with this pick. Panthers are a 3-point favorite right now. Aaron Rodgers is coming back for the Green Bay Packers, and so I'm going with the Packers. The Packers, with Aaron Rodgers, will beat the Carolina Panthers. I think it's a very bold decision by me, as the Packers don't really have any talent or have any really game-changing talent besides Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers can single-handedly move this team into the playoffs. But however, there is some circumstances that need to be addressed in order for the Packers to make it to the playoffs. But I think the Packers do upset the Panthers and give the Saints a clear path to winning the division and making it to the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, you already know what happened last week. This week, they're going against the Ravens. No chance of picking against the Ravens. Ravens, you win. Texans, Jaguars. The Jaguars are a very good team. I didn't even have to mention how many points the Ravens were going to win by. They're a 7-point favorite. Really don't need to talk about them. However, Texans, Jaguars, it's another domination game. 11-point favorite for the Jaguars, and they're going to win. They're the better team at this point. You really cannot debate that. Rams, Seahawks. This is a close thing. This is a very close game. 2.5 favorite for Seattle. Seattle at home. They beat the best team at the time in the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they get it done again against Coach McVay. Sean McVay is going to fall to the Eagles or to the Seahawks at home, and that'll really spice things up in this division, as the Rams and the Seahawks will be tied 9-5 apiece. Patriots, Steelers. I'm going with Steelers in Heinz Field. New England is the 3-point favorite, but I am just trusting in the Steelers. Big Ben at 500 yards last week. A fantastic performance against a Baltimore Ravens defense, which has always been good. So I think Big Ben in a Heinz Field could get it done again, this time against New England Patriots in a potential AFC Championship preview. Titans, 49ers. Titans are a 2-point underdog against the 49ers. The 49ers are favored to win. However, the 49ers don't have anything besides Jimmy G. Jimmy G is their whole team right now. And the Titans, even though Mariota hasn't been playing well, Derrick Henry's been showing signs of greatness. Delaney Walker, still a very usable tight end for his age. And the defense, their run defense is no slouch. So it's good. I think it will be a close game, but the Titans, the away team, will come out with the win. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Raiders. Cowboys are projected to win by a 3-point differential, or should I say they are 3-point favorites according to the betting lines. I mean, this is just going by bets on ESPN, so that's where I base my favorites to win this game. So Cowboys, it's really undisputed right now. Raiders, they're just not a good team this year. They've been dysfunctional. Derek Carr has not been playing to the standard that we've all expected him to be playing. So the Cowboys, even though they're not going to make the playoffs, they win this game. Falcons, Buccaneers, Monday Night Football. It's going to be pretty... divisional matchups are always very intriguing to see, but the Falcons are just going to dominate the Buccaneers anyways. They're 7.5 or 6.5 favorites to win, according to ESPN at this time, and there's really no stopping them. You can't really stop them unless you're the Saints. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.